Hello everyone. So today I will be covering about an interesting topic which is mental health in Chennai and other metro cities as well. So in this video I will be covering about the mental health in Chennai specifically, and it can also be applicable in other metro cities as well. So basically, I live in Chennai. So, from my personal experience, I would say each and every day people hustle. Everyone rushes to their offices, rushes to their colleges, and rushes to like anywhere they want to go. Whether they're doing business or they still rush to their warehouse or retail stores and stuff. So in Chennai, it's always hustling just like any other metro cities. So Chennai has got a lot of IT parks, many companies, and there are also lots of many opportunities are like huge here. And I would say people also travel a lot here in Chennai, so it also makes it more traffic congestions also happen here in Chennai as well. Not compared to Bangalore or other cities. Here still the traffic is okay, but still there is a traffic congestion sometimes. So let's come to the main issue right now, which is the mental health. What makes people, to go through all these mental health crises in specifically in these crowded cities? The first thing I would say is stress. People here in Chennai are highly stressed. People run like anything to complete their jobs or tasks. People work a lot here, and stress also comes from people, doing their day-to-day routines more, routine based works, and a lot of uncertainties and stuffs also exist in their workplace, and even in schools and colleges also, induces uncertainty to the people. So I would say the main reason for mental health crisis first thing is making people more uncertain about what they are going to do. So which also leads to stress and anxiety and overthinking. So all these three factors combine and ultimately lead a person to depression. So I would say all these three factors ultimately lead to depression. So right now, how can I make a person who's actually depressed to their normal state, which is really highly complex? Human emotions are really complex. It's really hard to understand a human emotion. Sometimes it's actually easy to understand a human thought process. We can really understand what a person is thinking, and like either through how they speak or how they reflect on what we say, from their body languages, from their eye contacts, like from their lots of non-verbal communication signs can also reflect how a person is and what their thought process are. And even we can find how they're going, what they're going through, but we cannot really feel how they're going, what they're going through, and what kind of traumatic pains are they going through, or like we cannot really feel what other person is going through. So it really becomes hard for us to empathize on their suffering. And I feel like it is really people actually empathize. People are more empathetic here in Chennai as well, but I still feel like people should also, like, not just people, like I would say like people. Okay, let's say an example. So, in a classroom, if there is a guy who's actually more isolated and making himself, isolated from his friends group, it's really easy to find that the guy is going through something, or like he's having all those, symptoms of mental health. But if if his surrounding people are not considering him or not supporting him to get out of the depression, I feel like that's where the problem arises. People don't really figure out who's going through what, and it really becomes for people, like the group around the person who is actually suffering from mental health, to find out who is actually suffering. And sometimes the person who is actually suffering may not also know that they are going through something, and that's how complex mental health it is. Sometimes people who are going through mental health issues itself cannot figure out what they are going through itself, and during those times it's really important that the person who's going through to speak out to someone they trust, or someone they love the most, even like it could be a stranger. So when they speak out, their mind becomes clear, and they just know that they are going through something, and okay, I'm not normal, and I'm not in a normal state. The thing here with the mental health issue is that sometimes people feel like, no, the state of being a depression sometimes feel like they are in a normal state itself, and that's where it becomes really worse. People's day-to-day lives, their routines, their conversations become so pathetic that they, like, you know fail to communicate good, like fail to make real human connections, and they also make less progress and productivity in their workplace or academics or any stuff they do. So in long term, it really affects their mindset, their goals to achieve. So what I would like to say is here is that people should actually go and speak to someone at first stage, and second thing is there are lots of communities and even platforms like in Chennai there is a platform called Mind and Company, where they provide one-on-one psychologist consultant to speak to you for, like, if you pay them for, you can book a session with them, and it's mostly online, so you don't really have to visit in person, and it makes the other person to feel more private while they were like, of course, even if you go through in person you can still feel the privacy, but people don't usually go because there is this stigma around, like, what people would think me if I'm going to a psychologist here. It's a culture here, and like most of the Indian cities, like Indian families don't like like themselves going to a psychologist. I don't know why, and I feel like that stigma is right now it's actually decreasing, and people are more aware of mental health. And I'll also point here is that we are most of us are aware of that there is something called as mental health, but I would still say that people are not acting on it. People are not finding a solution for their mental health problems. They are just aware. As I said earlier, people who are going through mental health crisis itself, they are not aware that they are going through it. So it requires a lot of self-realization process, and it's really difficult for we humans in the metropolitan cities where we hustle bustle, and we forget like who we are, and we really forget our true identity. We rarely spend time with ourselves, and yeah. So some of the things which actually help me to overcome, even I go through a lot of mental health crises in past, many years back, like 2 to 3 years back, and some of things which actually help me is, first thing I would say is traveling. Even if some, and traveling in sense, I don't think like it might be like weird, but solo traveling actually helped me to overcome my mental health issues. So I'll explain this in the next video, but yeah, solo traveling can help you, but of course you might go alone, and something you might still be afraid, but I was still found out that when you're solo traveling, you observe a lot, and you'll be more aware of your environment, and you start to see the realities. And when you stay with realities, the delusion in your mind sometimes can get reduced, and you'll actually know, like, you become more wiser. So actually solo traveling helps. And second thing is speaking out to someone. It could be your friend, your loved ones, it could be anybody. And it could be even your parents. Some people don't speak to their parents, whereas like yeah, of course, most of us don't speak to parents, but I still feel like speaking to parents is most thing which actually helped me as well. And it's really important that you speak to someone. And at last, I would say use these platforms, go to a doctor, consult a psychologist. So initially, I would say speak to someone. Second thing I would say is solo travel. Don't do all these cigarettes and escape this thing, cigarettes and alcohol. Don't go into those addiction. It's just a waste of time, and it becomes a loop to you. Don't do all those high dopamine activities, and you couldn't you cannot overcome it. That's the main thing. You should not go to all these bad habits. And yeah, speak to speak about what you're going through. And it also gives you the clarity. It gives you the clarity to know what you're going through, and you can actually find a better solution at the earliest. Yeah. Yeah, it's go talk to someone, solo travel, explore things, explore new things, explore new hobbies, read books, buy a self-help book, go through it, and like search a lot of online blogs about what you're going through. Just explore it. Just find um, what you're going through. It's actually crucial for you to analyze yourself, self-realize yourself. You can also practice meditation to overcome all these mental health issues. Practice yoga, do all those mindful activities. If you can spend some time with yourself and figure out what you're going through, I still feel like you can overcome all these mental health issues. And yeah, I would say if your mental health is really bad, then you gotta to take the consultation of psychiatrist or psychologist. If it's really really bad, and the doctor might recommend you to take supplements and stuff, and I would say like you to take it, and it depends on person to person and their mental health issues. So so yeah, that's it about this video about mental health issues. And I would say there are lots of toll-free numbers. So if you're need help, you can also call all these toll-free numbers. It's available in Google. You can just browse and get. And yeah, just be mindful, guys. You don't need to like fall into this trap of mental health issues. Like if you're going through something, you can still text someone, speak to someone. You can even text me in this comment sections. And yeah, it's really important that we you know say, like, express it, reflect it into someone, and not just keep within ourselves. I feel like that's the main part of the mental health issue, solving the mental health issues. So yeah, that's it about this video. Thank you for watching till the end. Bye.